Hello, happy Wednesday, guys. Good evening. Hello, hello, hello. Paul Honeyman, hello from England across the pond. Howdy, howdy. Hey, Greg, what's going on? David Glunt, howdy. How's Kenny Jr. doing? Auntie Ann, hello, my dear. What's going on? It looks like everybody's saying hi. Hello, Alex. Look at you. Yeah, you're right. You are on time. Look at that. Even a hair early, if you will. Gotta love it. Greg, I love the emojis. A little flamingo and a little duck there. I gotta say, I'm all about it. Um, it has been a busy week. It's spring break here, so the kids are out of school. Um, and it's uh it's one of those things where like certain activities are not happening because it's spring break. So like they don't have youth group and whatever. Um, they had a lockout on Friday night for youth group, and they went to like Starkville and Tupelo, and they went to a movie, and they went out to eat, and then they went to Waffle House at 5 in the morning or something crazy like that, or I think it was 4 in the morning. And they just stayed up all night. Um, and I've been, hatching out my birds. So I've been like glued to my incubator because the geese can take up to 3 days to hatch once they pip. So you have to like moisten their little membranes. So like every couple hours, I'm in there moistening the membrane, um, and like listening to see if anything else is starting to chirp or make any noise. And I actually had another one pip yesterday morning. Yeah, yesterday morning. Um, and this morning I heard it probably about 4 a.m. I heard it explode out of the shell and start screaming. And I was like, oh, it hatched. I didn't get up and go check at the time, but I was like, oh, I can tell it's hatched. And so then when I got up, I checked it, checked the humidity, checked the bird, took the old egg out a little bit later. I usually leave it in there for a little bit just in case. Um, but took the old egg out so it had a little more room. I still have a few eggs in there. It's possible. I mean, they all show development, but sometimes, it's hard to see in there. And then sometimes if they stop moving, I mean, they're out of room, so you can't really tell. It's hard. But anyway, so I'm gonna give them a little bit longer. And that one's still in the incubator drying off. I'll move that one, which I'm pretty sure it's not dried out yet, so it's a little hard to tell, but I'm pretty sure it's a female. I'll move it out to the brooder. The other two are doing great in the brooder. Um, and all my meat birds are doing great, knock on wood. I have not lost a single bird. I think this is the first time that has ever happened. I have not lost, again, knock on wood, I've not lost a single meat baby. So, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I'm telling you. Teenagers off of school will find a way to get into trouble. You know what? They're not. Frankie's been doing some work in the garden for Mike, and one of her friends actually came over and worked a few hours yesterday and today to finish like adding the topsoil, um, and some of the compost that we had moved and turned and gotten ready to go into the garden, and basically prepped it so he can plant it around this little bit of rain we're about to get, um, which I think is supposed to hit Saturday now. It was supposed to be Thursday, then it was Friday. Now it looks like it's Saturday. Wait 5 minutes, it'll change. So you never know. Making it home. Hi, Sid. Long time no see. Hope you are all well and prepared for this weekend's weather. Yeah, I hear it's potentially a doozy. When it says thunderstorms and 95% chance of rain and 68 degrees, I'm like, oh, I know what that means. So not super excited about it. Gonna have to keep an eye on it. We're supposed to do Frankie's birthday dinner that night at Texas Roadhouse is where she wants to go. So we're supposed to go do that. So hopefully the weather will allow us to still be able to do that. We're going at like really early in the day, not in the day, but like in the evening. So because they don't let you make reservations there, and we have a big group of our extended family, so we're gonna cram in there early and try to all get seated together. So we're gonna see Drops Family Garden. Howdy, howdy. What's going on? The Williamsons. Hello. Hey, guys. I was just texting with Chantal earlier. Um, for those of you that don't know, they have a YouTube channel, and they're on TikTok is where I actually found them. But they're in Alabama now, and making their own little homestead situation, trying to be as self-sufficient as they can on their property. And anyway, they're going to be coming to the meetup in May. Uh, at See if I can say it right. Eufaula. Did I do it? I feel like I did not do it. Maybe I did it. I don't know. Anyway, they'll be there. So I think we're gonna try to grab dinner because we're getting there a day early. And I think we're gonna try to, if we can get there on time, I think we're gonna try to grab dinner together the night before it officially starts, and then maybe swing by the campgrounds and see everybody and whatever, depending on timing. You know how that goes. Larry Parrish, what's crack-a-lackin'? Um, Shiloh Acres, what's happening? I always forget our kids get out later. We're in the north. Our spring break isn't until March 31st. Yeah, it's funny. When we lived in California, Frankie's spring break usually fell like at the end of March as well, which was nice because a lot of the other areas around us had spring break a week or two earlier. So we could go, we usually would just go to Vegas for like 5 days, because that's close by, and we go stay at the resort we liked that was really family friendly, and we would just celebrate both their birthdays, because they're both March babies. She's the 17th, and then he's at the end of the month, and so it just worked out really well. So, but she's got her. In fact, tomorrow Mike and I have to go get her permit paper notarized, so that we're all set to go for her permit appointment on Monday, so that she can get her driver's permit. So telling you. Dan Wiles, what's happening? Pettit Jean River Homestead, what's going on? More for the freezer. That's right. I know the new brooder is working really well. Let me tell you. I do attribute my lack of contrition being poor. The fact that it's good, I guess I should say. I don't know why I worded it that way, but anyway, you know what I mean. The fact that nobody done did that. How about that? To the brooder being really broody. It's. I mean, he made that thing. He made it strong like ox. Like there is no. I did actually crack the window today, just a hair, because it was hot out today, and it got a little stuffy in there. And I was like, ah. All the birds kind of moved out from the hot plates, and I was like, it's a little stuffy in here, so I'm gonna crack this window a hair just to get some fresh air, in there. So, but yeah, it's working really well, and it's going to be the easiest brooder that we've ever had, as far as being able to clean it out when it's all said and done. Once again, obviously we don't have the floors and the walls painted yet, but even right now with the tarp in there, I'll be able to like shovel everything out, brush everything out, take the dividers out, and obviously once the birds aren't in there, pull everything out and clean it. And even if I only need to clean, like let's say the meat birds are going to be out before the laying hens and the geese, I can shovel that out, that side, and clean that side and make it happy, for I don't know what. I'm gonna have ducklings soon, and I'm gonna have. So, it's been a day. I'm telling you, it's been a day. So we've got a turkey sitting, cohabitating with a duck right now in the log pile, with both turkey eggs and duck eggs, and so that'll be interesting. I still have my geese sitting on their eggs. We'll see. I'm not super confident on those because I know some of them fell out of the nest if they kind of rolled out a little bit and the mamas didn't notice. And so a couple of the eggs got a little bit cold, and I don't know how long they were a little bit cold before I found them and put them back under them. We'll see. Because they made it right up against the French drain, and when they hollowed out part of their nest, they didn't pack that in well enough, and so they just rolled out underneath the French drain tube. Is what it is. So we'll see how they do. I will probably pull them and throw them in the incubator once I'm sure these are all done. But by then they might be hatching out there. If they're only like a week behind, I think week and a half behind these guys. So we'll see. Um, and then, uh, I was thinking like, oh, once these meat birds are out of there, we can do the floors and paint. I don't know why I was thinking that because I've got the goslings in there, I've got the laying hens in there, I'm gonna have ducklings in there. There is not enough. There isn't gonna be a chance to do that in between. So I don't know what I was thinking um, initially. So I'm gonna have to wait until everybody's out to really be able to finish the breeder. But it's fine because by then things will have slowed down and we can do that at the end of summer when everybody's out, and that'll be a quick, little afternoon project to get the floor in and get it painted. So I'm not super stressed about that. Good evening, good evening. Frankie needs a construction hard hat. I know she bumped her head good in that one video too, and we weren't really even doing any major construction. That was just sort of a quick fix. I love Texas Roadhouse's prime rib there is awesome. I've never had their prime rib. They have some good salads there. And I'm kind of thinking I might do a salad situation. So with some chicken. Don't you love it when your earring randomly just lets gravity take over and falls out your ear? Is she going to sit on the saddle? I must have missed something. Oh, you talking about the saddle at Texas Roadhouse? I don't think we have one of those at ours. Um, Back in my day, Texas Roadhouse, there was one in San Diego, and this was years ago. We're talking like early 90s. And back then, if you're a real one, back then you used to get a bucket of peanuts. They didn't have the rolls, and you would eat the peanuts and throw the shells on the floor. And it was so much fun. But they don't do that anymore. We made Roadhouse rolls on our live this morning. Oh, fun. Okay. They are good, but I'm gonna try to abstain from them as best I can. It is Lent, y'all. I'm trying to be Lenty. Um, Make sure Frankie knows we all wish her a happy birthday. I will. I will let her know. Yeah, she's trying to make a little extra money lately so that she can buy some of the things that she needs to fix up her truck. And so she's kind of working on that. And that's why she's been working so much over spring break and trying to. She's excited now that the brooder is basically done. Once things are kind of in the ground, they'll have more time to get working on the truck because she's like, I got to get dad on that. We got to really work on the truck because she's like, I'm gonna have my permit in my hands. I, like the clock is ticking. So she's really starting to look at it that way, which good. I'm excited for her. But I will definitely tell her that all y'all say happy birthday. Um, Sorry, somehow I managed to get really behind on comments and I don't know what happened here, but that's a combination of poor eyesight, me talking too much, and being by myself. It makes for a bad combination. Uh, oh, Jared's birthday's on the 14th. Oh, well, wish him happy birthday. Where are you guys gonna go for his birthday dinner? 69? Well, happy early birthday, David. Happy early birthday, David. Um, Dink and Tank, what's going on? All these March babies. I know it. I'm telling you. I love it. Um, March is like a fun month, I think, to have your birthday in, and especially for Frankie. Like, when she was little, it was anything that was green, she would say, "That's my birthday color," because she's the St. Patrick's Day baby. And then every birthday party was themed. She did have one Elsa party, one Frozen party, and one Brave party, which I felt still kind of fit with the theme, even though that's technically Scottish. We snuck some shamrocks in there and some green stuff. And then we had just back to back, like consecutive, like Irish parties. Like I've made, we did corned pork because we were raising pigs. So we always did corned pork. We did burritos one year. She wanted burritos and pizza. So we made burritos and we had pizza. And then one year we had our killer, a couple of years actually, we did a killer cereal bar. So I would buy like Lucky Charms and like all the crazy sugary kid cereals. And then I would have different kinds of milk. Like I would have strawberry milk and chocolate milk and regular milk and like oat milk and like what, and the kids loved that. And they could make all kinds of crazy cereal combinations. And that was a hit. Let me tell you, if you have little kids, that is one of the cheapest, like easiest, fun, and the adults even loved it. Like it was just a fun, and we had some like other, grown up food out too that, whatever, but it was fun. It was a fun way to do it. Let's see. Let me catch up here a little bit, guys. Let me catch up here a little bit. Turkey meat is one meat that needs to be roasted and not smoked. Actually, no, you could, if you take a whole turkey breast and smoke it, and make lunch meat, or even just eat it, it's amazing. And I've done them in my Orion cooker outside, which isn't quite a barbecue, but it kind of comes out like a barbecue, but it way more juicy. I love doing poultry in that thing. And it comes out great. So, and we've smoked a ton of turkeys and stuff over the years, and it actually comes out really good. Let's see. I look into FRP boards on the sidewalls. It's the stuff they use in restaurants. Are you talking about for the truck? I don't know. I can have salad at home when we go out. I'm having steak. I get you. I get you. I do. Oh, incoming. Hold on. Thank you. I thought it was a good idea for a kids' party. Sorry, I'm not caught up in comments because I was by myself, so I'm trying to hold on.
Okay.
Same as her grandpa Paul. Is that right, Laura? That's cool. Wanda Henry, what's going on? There's the diva. That's right. I think I'm caught up now. There we go.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah. So, yeah, so the girls have been working out in the garden the last 2 days, making progress, getting some things done for Mike. That's kind of the back breaking, bending, pulling stuff, cleaning stuff up, moving stuff.
Getting garden rows ready for me
Yeah.
to start planting.
Yeah. And so that's gonna save him some time as far as that goes. And then we've got some filming, I think, to do tonight in the shop of some stuff that he's gonna be working on. So that'll be Friday's video. And then dude, let me tell you, even as I sit here, I hit one. I look like I went to Singapore and spit gum on the street and got caned. If you know, you know. My legs are black and blue, front, back, sideways, everywhere. I got in a fight with a goat and a gate, and it did not end well for me the other day. And my bruises just look like somebody has caned me with a switch. Like it's bad. Like they're just black and blue. And every time I hit one, I'm like, oh, why is that hurt? And then I'm like, oh yeah, because my legs are one big bruise, both of them. I didn't just hit one.
And you know what's interesting about that? As much as she loves her goats and useless animals, not all the animals are useless, but she loves the useless ones.
I do.
I've never been attacked or
attack.
bullied by a plant. By my
That's
garden,
accurate.
right? I've never had to
but they don't,
fight my garden
don't
back in order to get in or out of a gate. I'm just saying.
Well, part of it was my own, my propensity for gravity to like pull me down.
Well, yeah.
I fall down a lot on my own without the help of a goat. That is fair to say. But I was also juggling dog food, and you have to understand, it's a weird makeshift gate.
You don't have to understand.
And so I'm fighting the gate, I'm fighting the goat, I'm trying not to spill dog food. It was a you-know-what show, and I lost. So
I love roasted goat. That's what I'm talking about.
Stop
I don't know about roasted goat, but definitely goat sausage. Add a little bit of pork.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. That soil is gold. You're 100% right, Heartland. 100%
The little shop of horrors. You're right. Yeah.
That's true. If they start singing to you, then you should worry. Kelly, Rebel at Heart, what's going on? Are you going to the meetup? I think I asked Sean, but I don't remember if I did or not. Because I probably asked like 2 months ago, and now I don't remember.
The cucumbers were out to get you. Yeah. Some of the, like okra can be a bit of a
Yeah,
a bit of a bear to
the
harvest.
squash sometimes will have some. If you go back into the plant to get the squash when it's really overgrown in the later part, I want to just karate chop it, but I don't. Oh, and then so if you guys watched Sippin' and Spillin' the other day, I told you that one of the gentlemen from church, Mr. Leland, wanted to buy a bunch of my ducks, and since I'm going to be phasing them out, I was like, perfect.
Oh, did Frankie move those?
Yes. I was like, perfect. We're going to probably process out a few, but the rest of them I'll sell you. And then whatever ducklings, I'll raise them up to a certain point so that they're a little bit feathered out and can, be out. And then I'll sell you those. And he's like, cool. Cause he doesn't want the babies because of the area he's in. He's like, they won't make it. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I don't mind raising them up a little bit for him. And so anyway, today I was, last couple days since Sunday, I've been thinking like, how am I going to catch these birds? They're really hard to catch. I got to have somebody help me do it, blah, blah, blah. Well, today I went into the inside of the coop where the nesting boxes are, and 3 of the ducks were in there fighting over a nesting box. And I was like, now's my chance. So I ran around the outside of the coop, closed the door on the little, thing down the ramp, closed that, ran back in, and I was like, ha, I got you. So then it was just a matter of picking them off. But man, they were mad at me, and they weren't the only birds in there. The rooster was flying everywhere in my face. The other one, I had the sand in there, so I'm getting like. Luckily, I had already cleaned it, so there wasn't poop flying in my face. But it was a mess. And then, of course, I thought, oh my God, I'm gonna have wing prints across my face because I got beat in the face quite a bit by some wings.
She gets beat up a lot by her animals. Just saying.
But anyway, so I got them all, put them in a cage, and I told Frankie, I was like, look, I'm done dealing with the birds. Can you move them into the chicken tractor with the other birds that we already separated that we were like, oh, we'll process those. So I'm like, move them out there. And then I still have 2 drakes and 1 hen left to do, but the 1 hen is sitting on the clutch and the 2 drakes are not causing any problems right now. So I'll pick them off over the next couple days when I can grab one, but I'm not trying to fight with a drake because if you've seen the drake's claws, they're not playing. And I'm not gonna be able to catch them inside the coop. So
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna catch both of those too with about a 1/4 ounce of lead.
No, because I'm trying to sell them to Leland.
Yeah, but if I'm gonna process a couple of them for meat at all,
you want to process
it should just be the ones that we can't catch.
That's fair.
If we catch them all, we sell them all to Leland. We don't process any.
Okay.
Any of them that we can't catch to sell to him.
Okay. Fair enough. Duly noted. I'll see what I can do.
22 caliber to the.
I think I fixed it. I know we lost a ton of you, but I think I fixed it. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened, but I did manage to
29 people stayed around to see if Sid could figure it out.
But I did. It was magic. I think what happened was like there was a quick dip and then it just put us into a tailspin. But I was able to like back out of it, which I think they changed something on YouTube because it used to be you couldn't back out to that screen and reload and then reconnect, and it let me do it. So good to know for future reference. Go for it, Sid. Yeah, hopefully you guys can see us.
The sky keeps on turning.
Wait, can you guys still see and hear us? Hopefully it's working. It worked. Okay, good. Making sure. I'm like, I can see us and it looks like it's running, but sometimes that doesn't mean anything. Lonely Hitchhiker Kent, what is crack-a-lackin'? Hello. Marie, hi, our Okie Homestead. Are you going to the meetup in May, Marie?
The last person you asked that to said
yes. I know, but that was Kelly. This is Marie. I'm asking. Different person.
You ever know everybody's first name?
I don't know everybody's first names.
Like I see a name of a channel and then you say their names.
If it's people that I've met in person, I remember there's a few people that I still struggle. But if it's somebody that I've like talked to in person or have like dealt with several times in like real life, then I remember their stage name, their channel name, and their real name. But if it's like somebody I've never actually met and they told me their name once on here during a live, I may never remember it.
I could see them once a week and not know their name.
That's accurate. What's my name? I'm not sure he knows. No, he knows my name. He learned it last week. Just kidding. He knows my name.
How many people are starting garden seeds right now? Raise your hand. Or type yes because people can't see you. Raise your hand.
There's like a bunch of people just sitting there like this at home.
Me.
Yeah, exactly. It's lovely.
Um,
I know I didn't delete you. I'm so excited, Brooke. I did not think that was going to work because I've never seen it go to that screen before when I did what I did. So that was kind of like a little Christmas miracle. I saw you on Christmas.
yeah.
So there you go. Say my name. Say my
Bartender
name.
memory. Know the drink, but not the name.
Exactly.
That's funny because Sid used to do that all the time. We would be like when I was playing music in the bars and she was bartending in the bar. We would be at the mall and she would see somebody and she would go, Bud Light.
Yeah, I would
be
like Long Island's Bud Light. Like I would know. Like, yeah, I would know what all their drinks were. But I'm like, don't ask me what their name is. Their name is Honey. Their name is Sweetie. Their name is like anything but, I don't know what I don't know what their name is. I knew like a few people's actual names for the most
Starting 4,500 4-inch pots of seeds on Monday. That's commitment.
part.
4,500 4-inch pots. What are you starting in 4-inch pots?
He
I'm
made
just
4
curious.
lives last night. Oh, Ridge Life. See, now that he's retired, he doesn't know what he's doing. He just has to make himself have more work.
See, I don't start anything in 4-inch pots. Maybe I should be taking notes
Maybe it's a 4-inch pot that identifies as a 6-inch pot.
because I do up pot a lot of things. So
No
maybe I
patience
should
for
be.
me.
But see, here's the problem. Here's another reason why I don't know if starting them in 4-inch pots would work for me because when I start them in the 72 cell seed trays, they're lower profile, so I can get them on the heat mats and I can actually heat the soil that's actually making the seed to soil contact. I think if I started seeds, like let's say I started a tomato or a pepper in the 4-inch pot,
it's still too cold to start.
which is eventually what I want it to be in a 4-inch pot, right? Let's say I started it in a 4-inch pot. I don't think that the soil would heat up all the way up that high sitting on a heat mat. I think I would have to have an entirely different environment to start those in.
So they said that they grow heirloom seeds. I'm only gonna have Hun and the window sell the plants in the flea market. I have millions of seeds.
Okay, but heirloom what? Like heirloom.
Well, he said last year he did 50,000 or he had 50,000 okra seeds. So I'm assuming okra is on that list.
Yeah.
At least.
And see, I don't start okra indoors. I wait and I direct sow okra.
Brooke has an important question. How many plants are you going to bring to? Well, it's not going to be Arkansas. It's going to be Oklahoma this year for the meetup.
I don't think I'm going to bring any to Oklahoma.
He might bring some. Well, no, you wouldn't bring any to the 4th of July. It'd be kind of too late in the season, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think that as we get closer, well, because here's what I'm doing this year. I'm hopefully selling plants at the farmer's market. So I don't even know what I'll have, right? Because I've never sold plants at the farmer's market before. But I think that, well, like today, I took an order for 8 tomato plants, right, already.
Yeah.
So I think that as it gets like 2 weeks away from the meetup, I may touch bases with some people and say, hey, look, I got, 4 random cayenne plants and 2 of this type of tomato and 2 of this type of tomato, and see if anybody wants them. But I'm not going to bring them just to bring them.
Yeah, it's kind of a pain to transport them when we're all piled in the vehicle with all our stuff and whatever food we're bringing, and it's tricky to like pack plants in there and make sure they're happy, and kind of makes it a little bit tricky. He has done road solo cups in the past before we had the trays, like way back in the day. But the trays, I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but I think the trays are more better for what you're doing 90% of the time.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever really started seeds in red solo cups.
I feel like we did way back. Like I'm talking like a decade ago.
Maybe.
Because I remember fighting with them in the windowsill.
I like to start seeds in trays, and then if they need to be up pot them. But like all the brassicas, I mean, broccoli, cauliflower, collards, cabbages, like all the brassicas that I have in little tiny 72 cell trays, I'm not going to up pot those. I'm going to take those plugs straight to the garden.
David said, next week. Do you get a better root ball, or don't you get a better root ball with the trays? I think it would be like because it's more confined, maybe like more of a ball. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that actually. Although one of the things that I'm actually looking for in this experiment that I'm going to do is um, I'm going to be looking at the root structure. I don't know if I would call it a root ball, but the root structure of some seedlings over the next couple of weeks, and see if certain things have impact on that.
Drop says I usually sell seed packets, but haven't had time to get it done this year. So, what's up, Dom? Our flipping homestead. What's happening?
I mean, there can be good money in selling seeds. M.I. Gardner started a business on YouTube and turned into an empire, you know. There's a guy that I used to buy pepper seeds from, whose name I cannot remember right now. It's too bad because I would throw him a plug. He still has an operation, but I save my own seeds now, so I haven't bought seeds from him in a few years. But yeah, I mean, he started a business and grew it into a pretty good size business selling seeds. So there is a business there.
Marie,
sure.
I missed if you answered if you were coming to the meetup. I tried to scroll back to find it, but I don't see it. I must have missed it, or you didn't answer, or mum's the word. I don't know.
Dana Mason.
Cuddly Texan, what's happening? Hey, Dana.
Her and Tim are lurking.
Lurking.
They're lurking. That's good. That's good. I hope y'all are doing good.
That's right. I know Cuddly Texan will be at the meetup. I know Dawn will be at the meetup. At least I think Dawn's going to the meetup. I didn't hear anything to the contrary. I imagine.
I was supposed to get my ring today.
I don't know what to tell you.
It says it was out for delivery.
Then I saw the mail truck stop at our thing.
Might be in the mailbox.
So I guess we shall see.
Yeah, so I don't know if I really ever see myself in the seed business because it's not as much of what I enjoy.
He likes to create the life.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like saving my own seeds. I do. I don't know if I would want to be saving 50,000 okra seeds and then packaging them and trying to sell them. And even then, 50,000 seeds is not that many.
Right.
If you're trying to sell them and pay a mortgage, I mean, you don't need to save and sell a lot more than that. And then some seeds are easier than others, and some are harder than others. I mean, trying to save tomato seeds is a real pain, and it's not like you can charge that much more for them. So I don't understand that. Yeah.
It's not like with my geese.
Right. I mean, the more challenging something is, the more you should be able to charge for it, right? So, yeah. But like seed garlic, there's a lot of money in that. I've considered that. I've considered growing my garlic operation to, 5 acres and then selling seed garlic. But I don't know. Maybe. We'll see.
We'll see.
I mean, 5 acres of garlic would be pretty good. And I think you can sell seed garlic depending on the variety.
Drop says they've been gardening and raising livestock for 5 decades, and they see more money in plant starts nowadays.
I believe that.
Hello, back to good.
I mean, I have a couple of 72 seed trays.
David Moffat's prices. What did he give them to you for free?
Or a couple of 72 cell trays out there of tomatoes right now.
An Italian stream. That's right. All that garlic.
That cost me next to nothing.
That's why I stay around.
And if I, just water them, bottom water them, up pot them until I get them into a 3 or 4 inch pot, and then, them for $4 a plant, right? $4 or $5 a plant, $4 a plant. Yeah, I would not have 50 cents invested in that plant and sell it at $4. So, but I had time invested.
I was gonna say you do have time,
and you got to figure out what that time's worth. But yeah, I could see a lot more money being made from the plants than from the seeds. But yeah, depends on what you're good at. And you need a lot of real estate. You know, I mean, if you want to be selling, I mean, there's people selling 4-inch potted tomato plants that are like this tall right now. They had to have started those plants like January 1st or Christmas. They had to start those Christmas. So now you got to have an indoor operation that's big enough to be able to start that many plants that early. That's an investment too.
Patrick says that he still thinks that Frankie should have put you in the rose bush when you told her to go forward instead of lifting first. In that one video.
Yeah. Larry's planting seeds in the wrong place. I didn't see where Larry's planting them.
He says pain in the butt trying to save seeds. He said, Larry, you're putting your seeds in the wrong place.
Oh, he said pain in the butt trying to save strawberry seeds.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Paul's being cute.
There's a joke there. Yeah.
There's a joke there. I know, it's okay. he's toast. It's fine. Yeah. Too much.
A greenhouse?
That's on his list. Frankie said no greenhouse. She put her foot down the other day.
I don't actually want a greenhouse, but I do
He
want
wants like a green room.
No, I want a high tunnel.
Oh, okay.
Which some people call a greenhouse.
Or hoop house high tunnel. Yeah, that's right, Marie. That's kind of more what he's leaning towards, I think.
Yeah, I'd like to eventually have 100-foot high tunnel out there, and that'd be growing stuff in it all winter.
I just wonder, like, when the winds whip through, like, how would that? Like, aren't those are kind of not like structures? They're like
if it's like good quality, it should be able to handle it.
Like it'll handle 70-mile-an-hour winds.
We're gonna find out.
Okay, sounds like a plan. You can buy the tool to make the poles.
Yes, you can. Or I've looked into that. I've gone down that rabbit hole, and again, because of extreme weather, I don't think I would build it myself. I think I would get the one that can be insured. So.
Did not see the one that David is getting.
David?
Yeah.
Getting a greenhouse?
Apparently.
I just talked to him the other day. We didn't talk about greenhouses. Mostly trade stocks and do web development. Yeah, I well, I don't even want to talk about my stock right now or my crypto. I don't look at those investment portfolios at the moment.
They'll be fine.
Come back and look at them in a month.
Yeah, that's right. I'm looking at 30 acres, quarter mile up the road for expanding. Nice. I didn't know you could insure them. Makes sense considering the cost. Yeah, and there's also some and I don't there's certain criteria for it. You can qualify for certain ag programs to be able to get something like that. I don't know if we would qualify, but
yeah. And that's the route I would try to go, and that would be an insurable route.
David's getting the Taj Mahal of all greenhouses. Where's he getting that from?
I don't know, but David gets the Taj Mahal of a lot of things, and then not everything though. Some things are super redneck, but some things are like bougie.
That's true.
Yes, I heard about the fart coin. Talking smack about Dogecoin, dude. I'm sitting on Dogecoin right now, and yeah, not crazy about it. I'm not a big meme coin guy, you know. I'm not the altcoin guy, but I bought some because shit. I mean, I'm a little bit of a gambler, but you know, I mean, I have Bitcoin, I have Ethereum, I have Cardano, I have.
Sounds like you need to be on antibiotics.
What else do I have? Hold on, there's more. Cardano.
I don't think you have to give your whole portfolio, baby. It's okay.
Anyway, yeah.
And the hamster fell off the wheel, folks.
Yeah, it did.
So there's that.
The one that's all volatile right now, Ripple. I forget the
XRP question mark.
Yeah, Ripple
Okay.
XRP. That's it. Yeah, that's the other one that I've got in there. Anyway, they're all down. They're all down. Every one of them is like in the red. So,
oh, that's awesome, Rachel. She's like, yeah, it's gonna be our first meetup. So excited to meet everybody. That's great. Tim, howdy. What's going on? We were just talking about you.
Speaking of in the red, what up, dog?
Apparently, you had to restart your live 4 times last night, and I got to reload mine because it glitched for a second, and it worked to just reload it, which doesn't always work, to be fair. But
right, I'm about to sneeze. Okay, sorry.
Men are such aggressive sneezers.
Sometimes.
I'm telling you. Like all the time. I've never heard you do a polite, like, achoo. Like, that's never happened.
Oh, I don't have any of those in me.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You're an aggressive sneezer.
Yeah.
Usually, that was actually toned down. Usually, it's a lot more like, you know, and like, fee-fi-fo-fum kind of vibe to it.
Who else in here is holding cryptocurrency right now? I'm curious. I want to know who's terrified right now. I'm not scared. I mean, I don't like looking at my portfolio and, you know, having it thousands and thousands of dollars in the red, but I'm not even scared a little bit. In fact, now's the time for me probably to buy some more.
I've asked Marie twice now and she hasn't answered, but she said other things in the chat. So either I've missed her response, Rachel, or she's not wanting to answer. So I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, that wasn't a sneeze. That was an explosion. That's right. I'm telling you. Dan says, bless you.
Ah, gracias.
There you go.
Yeah, last time I looked at Bitcoin, it was at like 82,000 or something like that. And it's been up and down between like 79,
Marie says they rented a yurt.
A yurt.
So I guess I didn't know they had yurts there, but you learn something every day. I'm telling you.
Yeah, and I don't have a lot of gold and silver. In fact, I don't have any gold. I have some physical silver and an ETF, which is not the same thing as physical silver. Like if you're gonna have, you know, but I don't know. I just don't feel like those things, while they may hedge against inflation, I don't feel like those things are the kind of currency that I would really want to have on hand if shit hit the fan. I think a bottle of vodka or a box of bullets is going to go a lot farther than precious metals, but that's just my opinion. So,
yeah. Trust me, you would have seen a very different reaction on my face if that had been the case. If it had
a shirt.
If yeah, well, okay. I wasn't gonna go that far. I hope that wasn't the case. But I mean, you know. 3 Mississippi, the first time I sneezed in front of my ex stepkids, they said, do it again.
That was a fun game.
This Friday is my 60th birthday. I have to come. Whoa. Oh, that Friday. Okay, right on. Well, good. I'm glad you'll be there. It's been a minute. I haven't seen you in, I don't know, probably, I'm trying to remember what was the last meetup you were at. Was it the one? Sometimes they blend together in my mind. I feel like it was the one in Pryor, but I could be wrong.
I bet. Yeah, I'm thinking that Tim probably doesn't have any cryptocurrency. He's got all his money.
Tim's got honey.
He's got all his money tied up. Yeah, the honey is a currency, that's for sure, no doubt. But he's got all his money tied up in fancy vehicles.
Yeah, that's a true story.
Yeah. But
that's right. It is Mama B's birthday tomorrow.
Honey is a currency, no doubt. In a shit hits a fan scenario, I bet you honey would be worth a lot.
Yeah. What? Oh. No crypto, just actual paper currency from a few different countries.
Yeah.
Mike likes trading in copper. That's right. Eggs too right now. That's true, Marie. I have all the gold I panned in California, less than an ounce. There you go. I'm all the gold he pans in California.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I don't care who you are. That's a good one. Yeah.
$12 a dozen in Vegas. Well, out west is where they're killing more of the birds. So, funny thing about birds is that when you kill them, they stop laying eggs.
Well, and the thing that a lot of people forget is because people were saying, well, how come all these other birds aren't dying? Like, there's no spike in meat prices and whatever. People forget that the commercial birds, the egg layers, you're still waiting 6 to 7 to 8 months for them to start laying from the time they hatch. And then the meat chickens are like 4 to 8 to 12 weeks, depending on the sizing they're doing.
Right. And the thing too is, and I'm not going to get any kind of conspiracy theories or whatever. Y'all can come to your own conspiracy theories or listen to me long enough and you'll figure mine out.
Tim spends a lot of money on skinny jeans.
Yeah, that's accurate. That's accurate. Ever how much he spends
and pole dancing, because we saw that the other day.
But if you go across either border connected to us, Canada, Mexico, you know how many millions of egg-laying hens they've killed? None. How come 120 million have been eradicated in the United States over the last few years?
Listen, I've said it before and I'll say it again. In 2018 and 2019, before the vid, they did the same thing in California with Newcastle. And they went through and they killed a bunch of commercial flocks and they killed backyard flocks and they killed all the flocks. And they went like neighborhood by neighborhood in half-assed hazmat gear. And I really do believe that was a BS thing that because the testing it was absolute, the whole thing was just asinine. And I think that it was in some ways a social experiment to see how things were going to go in the next year.
Oh, I think totally. I think so.
There's that.
And I'll tell you what,
that information what you want, but that's what I think.
Why is America?
And
why
California
is the United
was locked
States
down the longest and the hardest too.
Yeah, so. United States is killing all these birds. Aside from that was a different theory. But United States is killing all these birds. If and nobody else is killing birds. What's up with that, right? If you get, let's say there is some disease. Let's say there is some, Newcastle variant or some bird flu variant or whatever. That's fine. The birds that get it, they get sick, and the ones that die, right? And the ones that live have immunity to that.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that live can now lay eggs again, right?
And they're stronger.
Instead of waiting 6 months for a new baby chick to turn into a egg-laying hen. Yeah. It's absolutely ridiculous. Don't kill birds that aren't sick just because there's some sick birds in the flock. That's
not how you
do it.
Stupidest
thing I've ever heard of.
You pull the sick animals out, you quarantine, you monitor the rest of the flock. I mean, you do that with people, you do that with animals, you do that with You don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
Anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. That's my tinfoil hat. That's the conspiracy. I will die on that hill about Newcastle.
New Jersey 100%. Giants are the same size as your ocelots?
Yeah, they pretty much are. They're honestly.
But which one lays more?
They're about the same. They're literally almost the same bird. I'm not even gonna lie. Like they're very subtle differences, and like the main difference that's like noticeable is the leg color. Everything else about them.
What about the egg? The color of the egg?
I believe they're like the same too. Like basically your basic tan kind of.
That's right. Whoever controls the food supply controls the people.
That's right.
Larry Parrish, you are so right.
The cat's not helping your typing.
People used to have backyard gardens, all over the country. There used to be a lot more local gardens and local markets, and it was much more difficult to ship food long distances, right? During the time frame that it needed to be shipped in order to stay fresh, so people ate locally. And the government doesn't want that, y'all. The government does not want that. The government wants you to rely on their infrastructure for your food supply, and ideally for them to be in cahoots with the people providing the food. That's what they want.
I thought we were about to have another sneeze. I was preparing for incoming. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of birds that lay really good eggs. Obviously, if you have, they have a good diet and all the other things are in place, you get the best production. I know a lot of people love Rhode Island Reds. I can't stand them. I have never met a Rhode Island Red that was nice. They're all bitchy, and I'm not a fan. I like Orpingtons. I like Barred Rock.
I think a Barred Rock is my favorite.
I like
bird.
Ocelots.
As boring as a Barred Rock is, I would be happy with like a flock of just like
the other day
100
you said the
Barred
same
Rocks.
thing about Orpingtons.
Yeah,
Maybe you mix them
I
up.
kind of like Orpingtons. Well, Orpingtons are a little bit bigger. They're more of a dual purpose.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I could eat them. I could eat a barred rock, but Orpington's gonna have a little
It's
more
a
meat
little
on it.
meatier. Yeah, the Delawares are actually one of my better choices for that, I think. But yeah, and obviously, I love duck eggs. Like I mean, I would almost not eat chicken eggs if I could have just exclusively duck eggs when I want eggs because they're just that good to me. But I like chicken eggs too, don't get me wrong. But I like eggs. I love a good like over easy with a runny or a nice poached. I'm
I like eggs
love
too,
it.
and I think eggs are good for you.
They are. And especially when they're able to forage and they're able to like be outside and eat the bugs and the grass and get those extra vitamins into their eggs. That's all part of the plan. Blue ostelops, they are pretty. I agree, Don. I just have the black ones, but they have that kind of rainbow sheen to them, so I don't get too mad at it. I don't get too mad at
Didn't you just get like 5 more of them?
6 more of them. Yeah.
Babies?
Half a dozen. I have half a dozen in there. And I got they're not sexed, so it's just straight run. So we'll see.
Wyandottes and Orpingtons are skittish.
I've never had that problem with mine. I've had that problem with Rhode Island Reds, them being skittish and bitchy. Like I've had that one free bird, she used to just attack everybody. She was just a nasty, nasty bird. But like I used to have my favorite Orpington I ever had was Henrietta, and she would practically come when you called her, and she would you could just scoop her up and love. She was like a silky in that way. Like you could just scoop her up and love on her, and she was great. And I lost her to like a possum or a skunk. They like decapitated her. Awful. But I'm a big fan of them. I've never had, and my well summers that I had, or not well summers, my Wyandottes that I had were super chill. Like again, scoop them up anytime. They were good layers. They were good moms. Like I never had any issues with them at all with that kind of issue. I do notice though, like depending too on where you get your birds, like if it's a hatchery bird or if it's like if you got it from a local breeder, and I'll die on that hill. I'm dying on all the hills today.
Cuddly Texan wants to know the calmest breed because he's not going to be putting up with being attacked.
Oh, a silky.
Oh yeah,
100%
that's
silky.
not. You don't want a silky for eggs.
No, not for egg production.
Like
I mean,
I
you
would
get
get
a
barred
little,
rocks, bro.
but like, yeah,
Just get barred rocks.
like none of those, like really. I mean,
most of your egg layers are not
pretty.
Gonna
They're
be
not
mean.
going to attack you. Like
maybe a Rhode Island.
they will because they're nasty.
Yeah.
They're like the trailer trash ghetto bird that wants to scrap. That's how I picture a Rhode Island Red. Like they're just really they're ratchet. They're ratchety birds, and I will never have another Rhode Island Red again in my life. That's it. That's all I have to say about that. Like even the rooster I have right now is super chill. Like he was trapped in there with me while I was grabbing those ducks, and he was just like, he didn't try to attack me. He didn't do nothing.
We had one rooster that like had Frankie straight scared to go out
he
there.
was beautiful too. I forget what breed he was. He was this rare like Italian breed, and he was huge. He stood like 3 feet tall. He had this beautiful like long tail and this beautiful crest. And
he was meaner than a stepped on rattlesnake, though. I'll tell you right now.
He would come right for you anytime you walked in the back.
He wound up getting shot in the face.
We did all the things, like all the things you're supposed to do when your rooster's aggressive. Hold him down, do all the things, flip him over. Nothing worked. That bird like wanted none of it, and so one day he got shot in the face.
Yeah, it happens.
And then he was delicious. I made a delicious coq au vin.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the first time you ever made coq au vin.
That was the first time I made coq au vin. Yeah.
And I was a fan. I was like,
yeah,
okay.
That was Dr. Campbell. I made that. It was the fugitive. That was I named him Dr. Campbell after the fugitive. and he was on death row. Didn't know it. Anyway. I love it. Our ostelops are the best egg layers, but if you want a bird strictly for egg laying, get a khaki Campbell duck. Duck egg, duck egg equals 1.5 chicken eggs, and they weigh 365 a year. Yeah. So I didn't get a khaki Campbell because we're phasing out the Muscovies, which are seasonal layers. So I went because we don't want birds that are khaki Campbells tend to be quacky, like they're a little bit louder, and they're flightier. And so my goal is to still have eggs, but keep the ducks more contained, i.e., out of the garden. So
yeah, anything that can fly over and get into the garden,
yeah,
now becomes target practice.
yeah. So my goal is to keep them contained, and it will work better once the electric fence is working, because that is still down for the count. But that's been part of the issue. Once they figured out that they could touch it, they were like, "Deuces, I'm out," and they started flying the coop.
I got all the parts to fix it. So,
yeah,
the charger is torn apart on my workbench right now.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so I got runner ducks, which yes, they can like jump up a little bit, but so can chickens. And so, like, there's only so much you can do. Most birds can jump a little bit, you know. So we'll see. And they don't lay obviously that many eggs a year. I think they're somewhere between 180 to 200 eggs a year, and I'm okay with that. Like that's a decent amount for me, so I'm okay with that.
Everybody that's saying clip their wings, the problem is in order to clip their wings, you have to be able to catch them.
Yeah. So, and this is again the problem with the difference that I've had with hatchery birds versus birds that I've gotten from breeders. When I've gotten birds from breeders, like my old batch of ducks, I could just go pick them up, cut their wings. It wasn't but a thing. I could do it by myself. These guys, flighty from day one. And even the ones that I hatched out seemed to like carry that trait a little bit. They weren't as bad, but they weren't fantastic when I would try to grab them and do their wings. So they're just cagier, in my opinion. So I don't know. Oh, are we over? Oh, it's like we're done. See, I didn't even look at the time. We were just talking about birds, and then time goes. Yeah, as you guys, thanks for hanging out with us. I'm glad you could join me. So I didn't have to total line alone. That's nice. So yeah, Friday's video is going to be all about Mike's little soil experiment.
Is it?
Doing some well, I don't know.
We haven't shot it yet.
That's true.
We're about to go out and plant some dirt.
Yeah, we're about to go film it. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight. And I will tell Frankie that y'all wish her happy birthday.
And the Dreaming Drifter 5.
Yeah, so make sure you go see DD5 and then MT Homestead at 8.
Paul Honeyman just posted the link to Dreaming Drifters right now.
Perfect. Go in there and tell them.
Drifting Dreamers.
Tell them 3 Mississippi sends their love.
Why do I always call them Dreaming Drifters?
Because in the beginning that was their name, and then it got flipped, and anyway, it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
So there's that. Anyway, guys. Yeah, we love you. Thanks for hanging out with us, and stay blessed. And remember, safety's off.
Safety's off, baby. Congrats again, Mike. Oh, hey, thanks, Cuddly. My ring is actually out for delivery right now. So
good night, the Williamsons.
Should be here
see you
today.
In May. Bye. And hot mic, hot mic.